I'm tongue-tied. The primary purpose of this video is to determine whether or not Palpatine or Traya is a better leader in the current meta. And I get a ton of questions about Maul or Sith Assassin. And that's fine. Or even Nihilus. And I just want to say, Nihilus lead just never really worked right. You have to try it a couple times and you'll see that it just doesn't work, unfortunately. Maul is good at the start, but then it kind of falls apart. And then we're kind of left with like Palpatine and Traya. And then we have to talk about the Jedi. First, let's just pull up the leadership in both of them. And then we're going to go into battle. And I'm going to make a case for why I think Traya is the better leader. Even though in a mirror match, maybe Palpatine's a little bit better. It's certainly faster. And as this game has proved over and over again, that the name of the game is turn meter and speed. And Palpatine does that. Specifically, all of these things here are nice. Potency, max health, Jedis and Rebels, which are kind of not really happening too much. But even with minus 35% potency and minus 35% evasion, the Traya lead is much worse for Jedi than this Palpatine lead. When an Empire ally inflicts a debuff during their turn, which is good for Thrawn, they gain 20% turn meter, and then right here, they gain back health, and more importantly, when a debuff on an enemy expires, Empire and Sith allies gain 5% turn meter, and all of these guys give tons of debuffs. So clearly, like in a Palpatine versus Traya mirror match, I've tested this a bunch. Palpatine usually comes out ahead just because of speed and turn meter advantage. Now, Traya just ruins a bunch of teams, and her leadership is just brutal, even though it's slower. Sith allies have critical avoidance, 40% potency. When a debuff enemy takes damage, all Sith allies recover 10% health. It's actually great against Night Sisters. When an enemy uses an ability outside their turn, they take damage equal 35% of their health. Ouch! CLS leads destroyed right there. This damage can't defeat enemies. And then right here, when an enemy gains a buff outside their turn, they lose 50% offense until the end of the turn. And ouch! Jedi teams right there. Oh, it's brutal. So what I wanted to do first is just play this Jedi team against Palp lead first. And to show you how that's a relatively easy team to beat. And in my testing, I have found that Palp lead teams, like right here, there's a lot of ways of beating them. And I've made videos about that. In fact, up here in the top right-hander, there's a video of a bunch of teams that can beat this team. And I have to say this, too, before I get into any further, is that, in my opinion, Thrawn is the best character in the game. He just really is. That's just my opinion. Thrawn is the best character in the game. Okay, we're going to do something kind of cute here. And we're going to just focus on taking them down. Actually, I want it to go this way. I want the turn meter to go this way. I'll show you because I want to do it like this. All right. And then let's see. Ooh, that'll take him out. And then I should be able to give everybody all these crazy buffs. Let's see if I can... oh... I was going to knock down Cyan turn meter. Well, that was a waste. But I don't think it's going to matter much because this team actually hangs and does very well. Look at that. 41,000 damage from Ezra right there on Traya. Once we take out Traya, this match is pretty much over. And because of Hermit Yoda and Ezra and the massive amount of damage that Ezra does, it's not that hard of a task, actually. We can get there pretty easily. Boy, Cyan's a hassle, that's for sure. And we probably will lose one person to Nihilus. That's just the way it's going to happen. And so, I don't know. It doesn't really matter now. I think we could just kind of go after whoever we want. We can actually get stuns now. So if I can get a chance to stun Nihilus, I'll take advantage of that. But look at that. We're just blowing through it. I think I'm going to have to do... No, I don't know what to do here. Let's go after Cyan. I don't think it's going to matter much. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get through Cyan before he goes into hatred. Oh, knock down that turn meter. Oh, boy. Ah, that looked easy, right? It looked pretty easy. And that's what happens with Palp lead. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take the same team. We're going to go up against Traya team. And mostly because it has no Palpatine, take out Palpatine and put in Sith Trooper. It It's great. And I don't recommend taking out Thrawn, because Thrawn, in my opinion, is the best character in the game. When you play with Thrawn and use Thrawn every day, it's hard to justify taking out Thrawn. So we're going to go up against Traya lead, and then after this, we're going to do Palp versus Traya, and then Traya versus Palp, so you can see all the matchups. But right here, they're just not going to do that much damage, and we're going to get stuck behind this Sith trooper. He's just a wall of nastiness. I mean, it's disgusting, actually. I really want this foresight. I know I could try to save that when she goes off and gives a battle meditation, but it's just kind of tricky to do that. All right, well, we got to get rid of the buffs. We have to try to at least... Look at that. He's already back. That's why Thrawn's good. I already know what's going to happen. This is a lost cause right here. Yeah, I can take away that. But I'm not going to be able to do enough damage to Traya because of that minus 50% offense. It's just they're, like, extremely neutered. Ezra is not going to be doing those 40,000 hits. You know what I mean? Look at that. Nothing. 4,000? Look at this right here. 8,400? I mean, they're just, like, wet noodles at this point. Because of Traya lead, and Traya lead basically counters so many teams. Much more effective on defense, even if it's not better in a mirror. And we're going to go into mirror match, and basically what we're going to see is that both teams can beat both teams. And so what I'm suggesting is that there's a lot of teams that can beat Palpatine lead, but not that many that can beat Traya lead. And because on offense, Palpatine can beat Traya and Traya can beat Palpatine, might as well use Traya and bring in the Sith Trooper. I know in my personal account, I run Palp lead currently, and I was actually gearing up Jedi, and I stopped gearing up Jedi to focus on Sith Trooper to switch over to this lineup that's across from me here, because even in a Palp lead, and we're going to do that matchup next, you'll see that you have to isolate Nihilus. There's a real trick to these mirror matches, but isolating Nihilus is so useful because then you can stun him. And there's also a trick with isolating Scion. Even when he has hatred, he won't revive, which is an amazing mechanic. Hopefully I will be able to show you that, but there's definitely a turn order. And this Jedi team here, if you take out General Kenobi, put in Old Ben, and you take out Hermit Yoda and put in Ezra, or Nihilus, there's actually a way of beating this team using Old Ben and Nihilus, because there's a really cool interaction with Ezra and Nihilus where Ezra calls in Nihilus to assist, and because of Nihilus basic, he dispels all the debuffs, and he also gets 40% turn meter, making Nihilus super fast. And I made 2 videos about that, and the link up there in the top right hand corner. But that team right there can actually take on this. Now on defense, I'm afraid that the computer is not going to know how to work that Ezra Nihilus interaction. It just doesn't pick that, and it doesn't work out. And there's a lot of teams that actually can beat the Jedi too, although the Jedis are definitely a strong contender currently. Okay, so this is wrapped up right here. They're going to take out Sean, Bastila, and Hermit Yoda escapes the battle. And why don't we do Palpatine first? We're going to use Palpatine on offense versus Traya on defense, and then we'll do the mirror matchup, and it's not going to be that tricky. It's all about isolation and getting isolation on Nihilus. Unfortunately, right from the beginning, we're kind of stuck with a taunt, and I'm just gonna fracture him, just leave him over there. But I want to get to right there. We go. Isolation on Nihilus, and this match just becomes all about that, really, because the only non-Sith over there is Thrawn. Maybe we'll get stuns. So if we can get stuns or any kind of negative status effects, to use to our advantage, we definitely want to put that on Thrawn. We want to use this right here to reduce cooldowns, although only 1 turn cooldown doesn't matter much. Let's throw this on Thrawn, get a shock. All right, and the computer is smart in putting that on Traya, or Nihilus, rather. Let's see if we can knock out Traya, because actually the match is pretty much over if you can take out Traya. Traya is usually my first target. We're just going to see how this goes. Oh, we're stuck behind a Scion Taunt. All right. Oh, I'm just going to focus on Traya. Why not? Well, that's not going to do much if I do that on Thrawn. Just going to keep going for Traya. And hopefully my Nihilus will go off before their Nihilus. That's really the name of the game here. I guess I'll give it to Palpatine. We got to increase the cooldowns. We want to basically continue the... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. If I lose right here, that's going to be unexpected. And even furthers the case that I was making earlier in the video that Traya is the better. Boy, I can get a free turn here. All right. All right. We need a big hit right here. Come on. Big hit. Traya lead. My goodness. Boy, we need to hope that our Nihilus can do cooldown increase, and we need a shock over there to stop that. Oh, the shock didn't hit. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have a hard time here. This is not good at all. Well, we got to do that. Okay, shock. We need to dispel that somehow. Okay, we're going to do something tricky. We're going to put the isolation over there on Sith Trooper. Get a stun. And then hopefully we're going to get a annihilate right there on Traya. And then we should have it from here. Let's see if we can wipe out Thrawn. Not quite. Cooldown increase. Okay, and if we can get the isolation back... Well, see, now we're going to have to use isolation to our advantage to even take care of these, but we need to keep their Nihilus under wraps. Good thing now is we can stun and all kinds of things like that. All right, let's get big stuns. I almost lost this. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, we definitely need our Annihilate to go off. Now, we have 2 ways of doing this. We could have went putting Isolate on Scion and then just killing Scion, and then he will not revive through his hatred, or we can just annihilate him. And then hopefully we're going to get a big hit right here. And we don't have to worry about Sith Trooper doing his annoying taunts. And the match is winnable. Not a problem right there. Now let's do the reverse. And we're going to be kind of going up a little bit uphill because of the turn meter advantage. But no Sith Trooper. And I still haven't made up my mind if taking Thrawn out and putting Sith Trooper on this team would be good. But I don't think so. Thrawn is so useful almost in any team. Okay, let's battle the reverse right here. So we're going to play against Palpatine, and we're going to load up our Thrawn team, and I shouldn't have a problem beating here. Now, they do have an advantage. I just want to say this team actually might be better and possibly could win, and that mostly has to do with all the turn meter advantage that Palpatine gets. And so out of all the leads that are out there, you know, Maul and Nihilus and Palpatine and Traya, Palpatine is 90% of the time is the best. But right here, you know, with smart play, definitely can go either way. Usually I don't have a problem with this team as long as I can keep their Nihilus under control. Now, that's unfortunate that the cooldown increase, see, it's about Nihilus. Nihilus got the cooldown increase off first, so we're at a disadvantage. We might be able to get a stun right here. We did. That's very good. And Palpatine is the weakest one over there, and if I could blast through Palpatine quickly, that's good. But really, I want to be focusing on Traya. But I'm going to try to see if I can get through Palpatine first. It's really annoying when he heals up. Okay, we got to do that. We definitely got to do that. All right, we got isolation on their Nihilus. So if I can get a stun or a negative status effect, I can apply that to Nihilus now. Other thing, too, about isolation, which I mentioned. Oh, look at that. We already have it. We already have it. That makes it easy. Okay, so now we can do all kinds of shenanigans because we got rid of their Traya. Let's see if we can get rid of their Palpatine next. We need big damage here. Ooh, we got lucky there. All right, cooldown increase. Take out Thrawn next, just because I think Thrawn is the easiest to get through. And where we go. The health pool on Nihilus is going to be very large. And Cyan probably will go to Hatred. And that's the reason why I'm choosing to focus right here on Thrawn. Too bad we don't have our Palp on this team. Or Thrawn still. Almost got you. All right, he went into Hatred. And I want to see if I can duplicate that trick I was telling you about earlier. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's focus on Cyan and get Cyan kind of low. We're gonna do. Normally, I would just annihilate. I would annihilate Cyan, and then I would ping down Nihilus. But I'm going to do the opposite just for the sake of showing this. I'm going to put isolation on Cyan, and then I'm going to annihilate Nihilus, and then I'm going to kill Cyan through traditional means right here. But because he has isolate on him, he will not revive, and I just think that's fantastic, actually. All right, where are we at? All right, Sith Trooper's doing his job. Sith Trooper does not have to be fast. In fact, I've seen people put like next to no speed on him and just put tons of protection. Very logical strategy there. You don't have to go hard with speed mods on him. I like that a lot. All right, big hit here coming up. Let's see if we can get a monster blast from Traya here. All right, well, maybe that's it. Look at, he passes. Very cool. All right, we have to do a giveaway, and I've given this guy away before, but I think it's relevant, and I'm hoping with the Dengar login, we'll get some more stuff from this era. You know, maybe with the Dengar login, we'll get like Jango Fett or something like that. But anyways, really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person likes this video, you'll be getting for free in your account an 8-star mechanical legs Darth Maul.
This is not a scam.
Yeah, Clone Wars Season 7, Season 8's coming. That's amazing. Lots of good stuff. Mechanical legs Maul. We could use him in game. I don't know if Dengar will lead to that. I don't know what Dengar means. The only thing that kind of makes any sense to me is Jango Fett. I don't know. Maybe it's... I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.